One of the advantages of myself, I was also and still am a member of the Model Railway Club in London. We had a layout there called Haysborough, and that had a lovely working Tipler working. Unfortunately, the layout got retired, and the Tipler was just gathering dust. The club very kindly decided to donate it to the Luton Club, and it's now, you'll see, operating on this layout, which is a great advantage.
Hi, my name's Dave Beltwood. I'm the chairman of the Luton Model Railway Club and also exhibition manager.
Hi, my name's Dave Cosby. I'm layout leader for Central Works, and the layout's been built over the last 2 years, and you'll see some scenes from this later on. So over the last 2 years we've had a lot of work gone into the layout, and as you can see it's fairly complete now. The actual concept of the layout being based on industrial sidings around Longbridge is quite good in the sense that it allows us locos from all sorts of areas to be seen on the layout, and also we double up now. We have a forward sequence based on Dagenham because simply one of the locos that got built, there was a scratch built loco especially for the layout by one of the colleagues you'll see later on.
Dave and all his fellow photographers sent me one of the photos of the loco that they took when they went to visit it, and it's just such a peculiar looking thing that I thought it was something that I really wanted to build. Hi, I'm Simon Bolton, and this loco that I'm standing on is the very one that I scratch built for the Luton Central Works layout. And this loco it's a strange, boxy thing that I thought originally had passengers in it, and it doesn't. It's just full of enormous engines and switches and God knows what's else in there. And in fact, they took a load of photos of the interior of the diesel as well, which made life a lot easier for me. It's in some ways it's very easy to build because it is just a box on wheels. I used rather thick brass. I had a big sheet of brass left over, which made it, well, it was easy to cut, but very difficult to solder because the heat just gets sucked up into all this brass. So I would use something thinner. It's got millions of rivets on it. The whole thing is just a sort of series of panels riveted together. And there's 5 different methods of riveting that I did, with little plastic rivets and pressed in rivets and drilled rivets. And there's hundreds of them, so that was a bit tricky. The motor bogie was a nice, easy, simple thing to do with a little drive on it. There's a massive, great motor, because you can fit anything inside it, with a huge flywheel on it. So as it's a shunting engine, it's important that it goes nice and slowly and it's smooth. And I'm very pleased with the way that worked out. And then I painted it, and that was brilliant as well, because we've got some really nice photos of it in this sort of terribly distressed state, sitting in a siding somewhere. Then I sprayed it with acrylics, weathered it like mad. I had a lovely time doing it. So I love building it, and I'm really pleased that it's ended up on this layout.
The electrical system on the layout follows a fairly standard practice. It's a DC layout, but it will operate on DCC as well if we set all the various switches into the right mode. It has a series of tortoise point motors for operation to make life easy, and also for maintenance at exhibitions. The scenery can be removed in certain places so that we can actually get to the motors if they need any attention. Hi, I'm Nigel Adams. I'm responsible for the electrical systems on the layout and some of the animated features.
And I'm Jeremy Everett, and I'm responsible for most, but certainly not all, of the scenic work that has been achieved.
The total layout from its inception has been about 2 to 2.5 years, but the electrical system has developed. Obviously in the early stages a lot of work was done with the electrical to make it operational, but then we've been adding features as we've gone along since, with lighting and some of the animated features, and we're still experimenting with some of those now, and you'll see some of those on the layout as we go through.
Well, this club has been running since 1953 and we are a locally based club in Luton Town. We have our own clubhouse in the town centre, and at the moment we have a project of central works layout that's been built, almost completed now, and we are also in the proceeds of building a new 00 layout and also N-gauge.
Yes, so the layout will be seen at a number of exhibitions up and down the country in the next 2 to 3 years. We have a number of bookings made for it already, and you should see it appearing at some of the major shows up and down the country.
Another member I'd like to mention is Richard Beadle. Richard is a professional carpenter and was responsible for most of the joinery on the layout. He also made storage boxes for the scenery.